All right, everybody. Welcome to the Word on the Street. My name is Trey Griggs. I am Vice President of Sales at Lean Solutions Group. Word on the Street is brought to you by Lean Solutions Group. So we're excited about today's show. It's going to be a great show today. We're hitting some 80s hits today, so I'm going to have some great music as well. And I'm going to bring the panel, the street crew, to the stage for today. So let me go ahead and get them pulled up here. Give me just 1 second. I got some good stuff for you today. We got a great show. We've got some good stuff to talk about in terms of sports, in terms of transportation, in terms of a lot of other areas as well. So first, the stage I'm going to bring to you my man who is the director of marketing at Freight Plus, and he is coming to the stage right now. My man Kyle McNaught is joining us. Fun fact about Kyle: he won a podcast for a limited series he produced about a bum survivor family. So Kyle, welcome to the program, man. Good to have you on today. Next to the stage, my boy out of Texas. He has a company called Liberty Custom Printing. He's the owner, VP, and does all the marketing for that. Fun fact about him: he retired from the military in 2012. Coming to the stage is Eric Serta, and just jumped in, my man Justin Shepard, who joined us today as well. Justin, I don't think you gave us too many fun facts, just a couple. You served a 2-year mission in Argentina back in 92, 94. So he's on the panel today as well. Next to the stage, my man out of Portland, Oregon, who I worked with for a time. He is the Learning and Development Coordinator at CFI. And fun fact for him, he's 4 months older than me. Welcome to the street crew today, Chuck Minarsich. Chuck, welcome, man. Good to have you. And then finally, this man needs no introduction today, but he's out of Denver, Colorado, loves to ski. He's a recruiter, and coming to the stage is Coleman Ruffin. We'll see who else jumps in today. How's everybody doing today? Everybody good?
Alive, thankful.
Doing great.
That's right. Live, alive, thankful. That's right. It's all good. Hope everybody's doing real well. Eric, I like the bandana. Is that a new creation? Did you buy that or did you make that?
No, I made it. We bought some white ones and then we just made them. But
I didn't figure that you would be buying merchandise, and not making it yourself, not having your custom feel to it. So
yeah, I had to customize it. I it's gotten so hot here in Texas now that when I'm printing shirts, I'm just dripping sweat. And so to keep me from dripping it all over the place, I keep these around and throw them on whenever it gets too hot.
Nice. Awesome. Good deal. How's everybody doing? Anybody have a good week so far? Did somebody get me a birthday present yet? What do we got? You got any gifts for me today? Where are we at on this?
I was going to say, why are you asking us how we're doing? We should be asking you how you're doing. Happy birthday.
I'm feeling a little older today. The hair's a little grayer on the face. That's for sure.
You doing anything fun this weekend to celebrate?
I'm putting in a hardwood floor in my brother-in-law's condo. So yeah, we're living it up, man. We're going to party and have a good time. So
wow.
Doing that. My mom is look at that. Look at this. We got word on the street.
I'll ship that to you.
Oh, it's awesome. I love it.
This one to you.
Look at this. We need to soon. We need to get an order and get this out to the masses.
Man, I've had people asking me if they could buy it already, and I'm like, it's not mine. I can't.
Got to give the people what they want, man. I'm telling you, that hat looks pretty good. I like that with the blue net and the red bill. I like that. I like that. That's
nice.
Pretty hot.
Nice.
Kyle likes it too. We got to make sure he gets one as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be awesome. No, that's really cool. Yeah,
I just posted a link to the tornado that went right behind my house last night.
Oh, really?
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, you posted in the chat.
I put it in the chat.
We're gonna have to make sure that we get that out there. I'll try to put that.
It got crazy here yesterday.
How come there's a tree still up?
Yeah, I've got coworkers in Birmingham, and they were taking calls in their basements. So
yeah, it got pretty hairy for a bit.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, fortunately, we're a little north of you. We didn't get that, but I heard that Chattanooga got it. Alabama got a little bit out of Mississippi. Justin, where you at again?
Birmingham.
All right. Very cool. Yeah. So
the one stayed on the ground for like 120 miles. 120 miles, and it was there for more than an hour. It was an hour and 20 minutes. Crazy.
I apparently have not been following the news because I missed that. I missed I haven't seen much footage of it yet. I've kind of had my head down, but I heard that Chattanooga got. In fact, Dooner was buying a house yesterday. Did you guys see that on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
He was buying a house, And he had the question of what happens if the house gets destroyed by a tornado before he signs the papers. So fortunately, I think everything went well. He showed pictures of the keys. So Dooner, if you're listening, man, hope that you get moved in well. Congratulations on the new house. But yeah, I heard it's a little fishy down there. So glad that you're making it okay, Justin, and no damage in your area. You all good?
Right around my house, there are a lot of trees down. I had to take an alternate route to work just because the trees down. My internet at the house is out, but no, besides that, we're good. Really, for the intensity of the storm, 5 people died, which is horrific.
Wow.
I mean, still better than the one a few years ago where 20 people died. And so,
not to start the show off in a kind of a morbid tone, but the older I get, the more I think about that I'm going to die. Like this is going to happen. I think when you're young, you tend to forget that fact. You tend to forget that this is coming. But every year that I get older, I realize that, and I keep thinking to myself, man, how am I gonna expire? What's that gonna look like? And I'm not sure what that is. Well, hey, listen, so we got to pause for a second because we have another panelist joining the show today. My friend out of Chattanooga that we just talked about, his job title is whatever they need that day at Trey & Co. And he loves whiskey snob. Welcome to the stage, Nathan Frazier. And of course, my man Beefcake Bain just jumped in as well, who recently made a transition over to Carrier Direct. So if you need to know anything about technology and business planning and whatever else Bain does, or powerlifting, he'd also be a great resource for you on that as well.
Not wrong.
Nathan, how you doing, man? How's everything in Chattanooga? Oh, no. Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm good. I was at the beach last weekend, so sorry I missed the call.
No, that's all right. Tornadoes, though, you guys are okay?
I'm on the mountain. I didn't get it.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that there's something through, and
it wasn't that bad up here. I heard y'all talking. Yeah, Birmingham was bad.
Yeah.
I think Pelham got it worse than anywhere. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly.
Yep, bad damage there.
Yeah, well, hopefully everybody's okay. Sorry for the lost life of those 5. That's really sad to hear. I can't imagine events like that. Oh gosh, I just can't imagine. So it's coming for us all, fellas. But let's transition a little bit. Bain, what's good with you, man? What's going on?
Dude, life is wonderful, man. First of all, happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
Cannot say that enough. No, things are great. Lifting is going well. We're getting ready for nationals. Lily is competing again, going for her 5th and 6th national titles. My eldest daughter. And today, I told you this earlier, Trey, we are going to pick up our newest family member. Her name is Ginger.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that later, my friend.
Yeah, very excited.
I saw that. That's great. Very exciting. So wait, 5th and 6th national title. Is that what you said?
Correct. Nice. Coming off an incredibly successful gymnastics season, only freshman on her varsity team. She was a top freshman in the conference, varsity letter, run up for MVP, newcomer of the year. Just, if there is something that my daughter can't do, I'm not aware of it.
Killing it, man. That's awesome.
She's a stud.
It's impressive, man. I'll tell you, what a resume.
And there's two more coming behind her that, man, they're even better.
I know. Nathan, we got a visitor. Who's in your office? Introduce us.
So let me unmute. Hey, everybody, this is Teresa. So
Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Hi.
The best way to say it is every company has that one person that is the glue. Everybody calls her Mama Teresa. If you need something, she'll tell you where it is.
Mother Teresa. I love it.
She makes it happen. I love it.
Yeah, she is. She's
Not to be confused with
everything.
Mother Teresa. This is Mama Teresa, everybody.
I'm Mama T.
Yeah, Mama T is what
Mama
everybody
T.
calls her.
That's even better. And I bet Mama T knows how to make some really good sweet tea. Am I right about this, or am I right?
You're right.
That's right. That's right. I had a feeling about that. It's nice to meet you.
I'll be right back on, guys.
No worries. All right. Well, listen, we're gonna jump into a couple of new segments. I got a new segment this week called The Weekend Pictures, but I got to start it off by one of the best intros to a song ever, which is Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. This is the drum portion. Here we go. Yep. Got to turn it down so I don't get a copyright infringement on that one, but had to listen to that. That was so good. All right. So we're going to talk about the week in pictures. Let me share my screen real quick. We're going to talk about a couple of things here. Oh, not that one. Wrong one. Here we go. Perfect, right there. So we're going to start out with this. Hopefully, some of you were able to get your STEMI checks in the mail. I don't know if y'all have gotten that or if you've already spent it. How many of you have already spent the check that you got in the mail? We did. It's gone. We're doing just a little bit of catch up, So we've had a little fun and we're getting a little catch up. Basically, we had to pay for all of our RV sites ahead of time. Like when you reserve an RV site, you don't reserve it and pay later. Like you pay. And so, we better make the trip, but we had to pay for a little bit up front. So we put that towards the summer trip. So that money's gone, but everybody got their stimulus checks. It was $1,400 per person in your home, not just per adult, but per person. But I found out recently that the majority of that money is being spent on retail goods, electronics, and other things like that. Those stores are getting a big boom right now. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I went to the mall last weekend, and you can tell that everybody got their stimulus checks because I have not seen a mall that packed in a long time. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I was spending some of mine in Las Vegas.
Yep. And I wonder if this is going to happen again. We've talked about stimulus checks before. I wonder if this is going to be something that occurs again moving forward. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that. But that's dropped. So that happened this week. Next thing that happened this week, as some of you may be well aware of, is we had a little issue down at the Suez Canal. We had have a little backlog going. I think the driver, I don't know if he was drinking or he's playing video games or who knows what he might have been doing, but somehow couldn't keep it straight and got a little crooked. But this picture, I thought this was pretty hilarious to think about. Nobody's probably ever thought of, well, what do we do if the ship gets stuck? Because if this is the only plan that they had, we're in trouble. They had a bulldozer out there. Then they had this guy digging. They I don't know what they're going to do to get it out, but it's pretty crazy. So nuts.
Jeez.
Anybody have any updates on that? Anybody heard anything otherwise?
There's lots of rerouting going on right now.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hearing about.
That's a big reroute, though.
Yeah, that's a long way.
You're talking going around a continent.
Yep.
I mean, if we were already 3 months behind, three or 4 months behind on port, this is just going to throw it back. I mean, I don't know what that trip is, but it's got to be an extra 2 weeks, I would imagine, to go down and do that. Plus, they got to think about fuel.
But they're talking about it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks to get this thing out.
Yeah, they're saying that it was like an average of 50 ships go through there a day. I mean, so you got 4 to 6 weeks of that. That's man.
Yikes!
That's
gas is about to shoot up.
That's almost that. If it goes a full 6 weeks, that would probably be close to 1,000 ships or so. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
it'd be more. Golly, that's nuts. I mean, it's like this perfect storm just keeps brewing, right? I mean, like, what's next? I mean, who would have ever thought that the Suez Canal would be blocked,
right?
And that would be, I mean, you just can't even I don't know if you can plan for these things. All right, so we had that going on. That's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that more later in the show and how it affects transportation. But we also had this. We have the idea floating around of having vaccine passports, and that you're going to have to get your passport in order to travel, especially in some other countries. I think Europe's talking about this and a few others. And I think this is a pretty interesting thing because we've talked about mandating vaccines. Can they mandate a vaccine? I mean, probably not on the government level, but if they require this for travel or whatever, then they will by default almost be requiring this, especially for people who need to do that. If you want to go to an amusement park, do you have to show your vaccine passport? If you want to get on a plane, do you have to show it? If you want to go to a concert, do you have to show it? If you go to a convention of more than 500 people, do you have to show it? I'm just curious how that's going to play out. I don't know if you guys have heard anything new on that.
My biggest question is, like, what about mumps and measles and like chicken pox, all these other vaccines that we find that you have to take, but there's no argument from a majority of people. Like, is that also going to be on the passport, or is it, I mean, because if it's just COVID, that's just weird. Like, that's really weird. I mean, more people get sick and have problems from a mumps outbreak than I think than COVID. Like, at least if we stopped, like polio, and if we stopped doing the polio vaccine, like all these other vaccines that they kind of slowed down doing because we didn't need them anymore.
Right.
They're starting to show back up in some countries, but
Yeah, well, especially if you travel to a place like Africa or India or certain places, you have to get certain shots or certain vaccines just to travel there. But is this going to become a regular thing? Like you get a passport and there's the vaccine section on the passport. That's always a possibility. We got to pause everybody for a moment because coming to the stage, our global ambassador from Scotland, Mr. Nick Romer, is joining the stage right now. And I hate to break it up. We've had kind of the guys club today. But up in PA from Pittsburgh, we've got Aaron Smetic joining the show as well. Welcome, everybody. Good to have you on the show. We're in the middle of a segment called This Week in Pictures, and we're talking about vaccine passports. Nick, you're right on time. What do you know about the vaccine passport talk over in England? And by the way, sorry you're getting locked down once again over in England. Pretty frustrating, I'm sure, to be in your neck of the woods. You with us? You got volume? Can you jump in and talk?
No, they locked him down.
No. He's just to hang out. He doesn't want to talk about that. All right. Okay. Well, Nick, if you get a chance, you want to jump in on that conversation, that's good. Aaron, how are you doing? Is Aaron with us now?
I don't see her.
I don't see Aaron on.
Oh, come on now. I did let her in. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe it's on her. Maybe she's got a problem. Maybe that's
So I got a question. When does the fear vaccine come out? Anybody know when that happens? No, we stay afraid.
Perpetually,
Fear is definitely a good item to be selling right now. It's selling like hotcakes everywhere. That's for
I'm
sure.
so sick of the panic porn seen on the news all the time. Like you can just get rid of that crap any day.
That's crazy. Aaron, welcome.
Hi.
You're the first female today, so glad to have you on the show. Glad to having you join us. Everything good in your neck of the woods? They got you in the basement again today. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I'm working on another craft project.
Awesome. Wonderful. We're talking about, we're in a segment called This Week in Pictures. We're talking about vaccine passports and whether or not they're going to be viable, if it's going to be something that's going to be on a regular basis for other vaccines and for the other things that go on. So that's something we're chatting about now. All right. Well, real quick, coming to the stage, we got Juan Baena join us from South America, from Medellin, Colombia, the president of Savant BPO. Juan, welcome, bud. How you doing? Well, everybody's muted today. All right, cool. So we'll have to get everybody to unmute their mics and they can chat. So let's move on to the next picture real quick. And that is, we're starting to see vaccine distribution in drive-through lines. I think that's very interesting. Obviously, it could speed it up, but I have a feeling that would be weird to drive up, roll down your window, hike up the sleeve and get a shot and then drive up. That to me, that just, I think we're so used to like getting food that way. This has got to be a weird feeling.
Is there another way going on somewhere?
Is there another what?
That's all they do here. Is there another way to do it?
Well, went into our convention center and got a shot.
Yeah, my in-laws had an appointment to go to a medical center here, which was hilarious. They had like a 10 o'clock appointment. They show up at 10. They say, hey, it's about a 2 to 3 hour wait. And they're like, I had an appointment. Like, what do you mean? Like, well, there's just a backlog. And it reminds me of that scene from Seinfeld where he goes to get his car reservation. And she's like, I'm sorry, we don't have a car for you. He goes, but I had a reservation. She goes, I know how reservations work. And he goes, I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. I don't think that they know how to work appointments because my in-laws went in there and they're like, we're not going to sit here for 3 hours. And they left. And then they eventually got another appointment. But no, there's many ways it's being distributed. I hadn't actually seen this until I saw this picture.
And my wife got it up here in Mass. They escorted her from like the parking lot to the thing. Like up in Mass, it was like spot on, like 15 minutes and she was good.
Wow. Ours here, they use what they do is when all the buses are gone from the car to bus barn, the city buses, they create lanes. There's like 12 lanes and you pull in there. Nice. And they have like 3 for the Johnson & Johnson, 3 for the Moderna. And you just pull in the one it tells you to pull into on your card and they just pop you and you go.
That's pretty creative use of space, I think, because, then they don't have to actually set up a second area. They basically just, the buses leave, they jump in, they do the work, get done, the buses pull in. So that's pretty fascinating. Well done, Chattanooga.
It depends on the provider, but OHSU is doing it at the Portland airport. So they're using a parking lot that's not being used for things since there's not as much traffic at the airport. And that's the drive through.
I know in Kansas City, the Chiefs are doing vaccinations at their stadium because obviously there's no concerts going on. There's nothing happening right now, no football season. So it's seeing sports teams kind of step up and help out in that way as well. I think Dallas is doing some work like that too. So
yeah, they did it at Fenway, and then they had to stop because baseball started. So everyone I knew up here wanted to go at Fenway. They're like, I want the shot at Fenway. You're like, all right.
everybody's getting a shot doing selfies with the green monster.
Oh yeah, they do it at Gillette too, and it's all
not
that.
just
It's
the
like the
vaccine.
card in the background.
It's the whole experience. So anyway, so we're seeing vaccine distribution. I think that we've hit 100 million doses that have been distributed, and maybe 70 million that have been administered. Are those numbers correct?
Wait,
Somebody look
100
that up.
million administrated?
Yeah, I thought I saw some numbers, but I don't know if those are accurate or not.
Yeah, I saw 130 million today, but you're probably right, Trey.
Okay. Well, that was a couple days ago, so that would make sense if that's right. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Which, we've only got what? How many adults do we have in the country? Is it like 300 million, 280 million adults? Maybe less?
There's 300 million people or so, right? 300.
I thought it was more than that, like 330.
Yeah, it's like 330.
20
I
million.
thought it was like 500.
No.
It's like 330 million.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So they're pretty much buying them up, and so everybody can have one. So they may try to require it, which will be a very interesting debate as well.
18 and over is 200 million, according to the good old Google machine.
All right. Thank you, Google. Love it.
Can you buy them? Could I buy like a batch and just bring them to Columbia, get my people vaccinated, and go back to the office? Or is that not legal?
There are some sellers out there, but I don't know that you're going to get the same vaccine. I actually saw this report recently that there's a massive fraud going on of vaccine distribution that are not actually vaccinated. So that does exist. There's a black market for everything. So there's a black market for this as well.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yeah.
The black market the mask market is hot too. The fake masks.
Black market mask market? Like the N95 masks?
They're saying they're N95s, but they're not.
Okay. I see. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they're just capitalizing on fear and necessity and all that. So, all right. The next thing in the news this week is we had our very first press conference with the new administration. And I believe it was 65 days into the actual administration. The next closest of the past 10 presidents, anybody know? 33 days was the longest that any president prior had gone without doing a press conference, open question press conference to the public. But what was interesting was there was a few cameras that caught some cheat sheets, some crib notes behind the podium to help out. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. It's interesting because you have to ask the question, like, why have they not done it? And I think because they haven't done it, it leads to all these conspiracies or thoughts about, his mental acuity and whether or not, it just feeds the narrative, right? But the press conference yesterday actually had 0 questions about COVID, which I thought was quite fascinating. All right, pause for a second. Coming to the stage, our very favorite panelist on the show, the one that brings the heat every week, Miss Diana Guzman from Chicago. Diana, how are you today?
I am well, thank you. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, no worries. You came on with your volume not muted, so congratulations. You're the first one of the last 4 that was able to accomplish that. So that's awesome. Welcome. So we're in the middle of a segment right now called the Week in Picture.
You promoted me to panelist, and that's what muted me.
All right. So anyways, all right. So we got that going on. We got the conference this week with President Biden, which was very interesting. No questions about COVID. So we'll see when the next one is and kind of how that goes. But certainly
he beat it already, so it's fine.
Robert, what did you say?
I said he beat it already, so it's fine. Our Lord and Savior, Sleepy Joe, will take care of us.
That's right. It no longer exists. It's all good. It's all taken care of. We got it under control. We also have in the news, we have this situation happening down at the border where, we have quite the situation with migrants crossing the border, with unaccompanied minors crossing the border. And I think it's fascinating because we see this happen on a very cyclical pace. They actually interviewed some of the migrants coming up and said, would you have done this if Donald Trump was president? They said no. Did you come because Biden's president? They said yes, they did. They were very clear about that, right?
Wow.
So Paul
said checks in the mail. I said Trump said checks in the mail.
Pretty much. And so, you have them coming across the border because they know that they will be okay. They know that they'll get here. And so it's fascinating to me that the language that we use and the policies that we use, they won't call it a crisis. They won't say that it's because of Biden. They're saying it's because of, what's going on in their countries. But the truth is, It's totally because of policy, totally because of Biden. So it's pretty interesting to see what's happening. And now you have, I mean, can you imagine, this is a cage that basically they've created a box to try to limit, and those people are in there. Those aluminum foil bags are sleeping bags. So if you haven't seen some of the pictures from that, you can check it out. But that's going on this week, which is,
I know these are definitely not cages, Trey. They're just containment areas. Definitely not cages.
Yeah.
not cages.
Definitely not
Get
cages.
rid of that word. Now, I mean, it looks pretty much enclosed completely. So I don't know.
We got rid of cages with 45. These are just containment areas for future citizens. No problem.
I guess cages have bars, and these technically don't have bars.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're
Totally
just rooms. They're just hotel accommodations is what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got that going on in the news. Next in the news, we have this. If you've been watching March Madness, we had some massive amount of upsets this year in the tournament, including Oral Roberts, number 15 seed, that knocked off Ohio State and Iowa. We've seen more upsets in this tournament than we have in the last several, and I think I have a reason. Who was able to watch some of those, and what was your favorite upset?
I watched the girls.
That game was great.
A&M upset was a big one for me, but that was on the girls' side.
What seed were they?
I don't quite remember. I just know they won it in a buzzer beater.
Yeah, they were kind of the first buzzer beater of the tournament.
They were like the first
upsets, but not really buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we had in the very first game, we had I can't remember who played in that first game, but there was a buzzer beater to tie to send it into overtime, but it wasn't to win. But you know, those Bryce Drew buzzer beater moments to win with an upset are just, you know, precious. Those things don't come along too often. Nick Rumor, we got a video now. Do we have audio? Are you with us?
Yes. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was on a just before I tried to jump on, like I got a call. That I needed to take, so it was a cyber call. So, like, you know, things are moving a bit faster right now. So, and
yeah, no worries, man.
I'm turning into Chris Jolly here. So,
throwing some slides. I like it.
I love it. In fact, where is Chris Jolly? Somebody get him on here. Like, that's going to be what Word of the Street is going to be known for, is us calling out. Where is Chris Jolly? Where is he? Where'd he go?
He's negotiating great waves to be one of the speakers.
We got some great games coming up this week. In fact,
who's going to Chattanooga?
We haven't gotten there yet. Just wait. We'll get there. We're going to talk about that. All right.
Okay, good.
We got some great matchups this week that start tomorrow. And shout out to Mike Foy, by the way, of Visible Supply Chain Management. Mike Foy is leading the Lean Solutions Group bracket competition with our customers. And he is way out in front. I don't know how he did it. I think he still has all 16 of the Sweet 16 teams, or maybe 15, something crazy. Wow. And I'm not sure what almanac he's using, what Back to the Future method he used, but he seemed to do quite well in the bracket. So shout out to Mike Foy on that. Next in the news is this. This may look a little weird, but let me tell you about this. All right. So this guy right here played in the Monday pre-qualification tournament. So they have a qualification tournament to get into the tournament. They have a pre-qual for guys like this. This guy, he broke 2 clubs during the round, and he fixed all of his marks in the green with a pocket knife. You can see there, he's got a knife on his hip right here. So this guy literally played a competitive round of golf with a cowboy hat. Looks like he's got a nice stash going there, knife on the belt, and popping 2 pitching wedges. And the guy withdrew with like a 92. So pretty interesting in the world of sports. You don't see that too often.
Are you sure that's not Eric? I'm just saying.
That's where I was at.
What's the mini bag? Is that for his guns?
I don't know, but no, that's actually for balls. Like, this is how they put balls. Yeah. But I'm saying this: if this guy gets to play in a Monday pre-qualifier, then I'm going to play in a Monday pre-qualifier sooner than later, because my goodness, look at that guy. So I would have loved to have been in his group, and that would have been just like the best day of golf, just to be in his group and walk around. But that happened this week. Pretty fascinating on the Monday Q side. And then this is the big news, of course. You guys might not recognize this, but I'm sure you're going to hear a lot about this dog soon. This is Beefcake Bane's new addition to the family. And Robert, what's the name? Yeah,
there's a story behind this. So let us go in the Wayback Machine, 11 and a half years. My wife is pregnant, and we find out we're having a little girl. That's our last child. Her name is Ella. And we tell my family, hey, we're having a girl, because we don't do the whole like gender reveal thing like other people do. And her name's going to be Ella. So my sister goes, oh, cool. We adopted a dog, and her name's Ella. Like, hold on, pump the brakes here. How old is this dog? This dog at the time is 8 months old, and I say, cool, are you going to change the name? No. Starts this back and forth with her boyfriend, now her husband, my brother-in-law, and my sister and I. And, my wife, she's all hormonal because, she's pregnant and she's freaking out. Like, I don't want my kid being, or the dog being named after our kid. And my sister tells me, well, the dog was born first, so your daughter's named after the dog. I'm like, that's the worst answer we could get. No problem. So I have a conversation with my brother-in-law. I was like, hey, you got to talk to my sister and make this work. He's like, I'm not dying on that hill, dude. No problem. We fast forward to now. We see this dog. She checks all the boxes: kid friendly, cat friendly, needs kind of a quieter neighborhood, which is what we live in. Doesn't still need a fence. She's like 55 pounds. She's 5 years old, housebroken. So we fall in love with this face. I mean, look at her. She's beautiful. Her name is Ginger. Do you know my brother-in-law's mother's name is?
Please tell me.
It's Ginger. It's Ginger.
I love it.
11-year clapback. Always play the long game, kids.
It's fair play.
We head down to this. We head down to Bucktown tonight to meet her in person. We've met her on a Zoom meeting, and she seems to like us. So we're gonna obviously make sure that she can handle all 6 of us, and then she is more than likely coming home with us tonight.
That is awesome.
Awesome. Cool. So cute.
Yeah. Congratulations on that.
Very excited.
Look forward to
I
hearing
have a
stories.
beagle. Does anyone
What was that, Aaron?
want a beagle?
Anybody want a beagle?
I said I have a beagle. Does anyone want a beagle?
Trying to bottom off.
No.
Beagles are like the cutest dogs ever, but you cannot make them shut up ever.
He's so annoying. Oh my God.
I have a friend that has a husky that screams.
Aaron, do you want to trade for my son?
Yes.
Lily's potty trained, and then we'll do it.
Nick, I just want to put out this as a warning. You're now talking about international human trafficking on YouTube. You may want to be careful here, man.
That's right.
It's a trade. It's a trade.
It's a trade.
Yeah, you could also
like
trade
in the
money.
chat
For
Robert, I like in the chat you put that Chris is working on being a speaker at F3. I think he's working on his presentation right now. He's just pounding that thing out, getting that thing all ready to go.
I cannot confirm or deny. I actually did talk with him today.
Well, he's missing either way, which is pretty common, pretty normal. All right, everybody. So we are going to transition real quick. We're going to have our first poll of the day, and I promise that I will make it to where you guys can actually participate in the poll. Although I'm not seeing the poll right now. This is scary. I know there's one with this. Maybe I messed it up again. Hang on. There it is right there. Okay, I got it. Okay. So we're going to be talking about, speaking of F3, we got some new events that are coming back in person. I believe that McLeod just announced their user conference, which is going to be either in August or September. So they're starting to take enrollments for that. And so we're going to talk a little bit about being back in person. Go ahead and take that poll. And while you're doing it, I'm going to see if I can get some tunes on here, maybe a little Eye of the Tiger, if I can pull that back up. So go ahead and take the poll, and then we will be right back. Eye of the Tiger or Mary Poppins, because that's what just popped up. My kids have been
Eye of the Tiger.
Rock.
Mary Poppins.
Well, Eye of the Tiger's out, but here, let's see what we got. Why is it not working? My Amazon Music is not working. I feel like, okay, so I'm a day older, and now I'm literally saying this thing won't let me play the music. That's what my mom says. She'll call me and say, hey, my phone won't let me, and then fill in the blank, whatever it is. And then I'm like, Mom, it's not, they don't build these things so that you can't use them. Like, it's probably user error here. We got to work on this. And now, lo and behold, here I am, and I'm trying to play music, and it won't let me, Aaron, play the music. So frustrating. So frustrating. It's brutal. All right, here we go.
These were so easy.
There we go. This is just for you and Diana. There you go.
Wait, why is it just for them? This is a great song. Come on now.
Juan's a big fan of this one as well, I guess.
Hell yeah.
A little early there, Diana. A little early. Here you go. Justin, let's hear it, man. Very nice. All right, closing down the poll. This one was quick. See, I tried to make it not too difficult to read on this one, so no complaints on it. So let's go ahead and talk about in-person events and see who's going to be doing what. I'm going to share the results here. Question 1, were you surprised that TIA moved their hybrid? They were doing an in-person / virtual event in May down in Phoenix. Were you surprised that they moved that annual conference to a completely or exclusively virtual event? 9 of you say no, 2 of you say yes. Really, 9 of you were not surprised by that. Tell me why. I was a little surprised. I'm a little disappointed too.
Liability.
I think if TIA does not get their shit together, they're falling behind in times. They're so out of date when it comes to technology. While they're a good resource if you want to start a brokerage, and they're a good resource if you have a brokerage for certain events, their technology is so far behind, and they're not. They want to be more. I'd rather someone tell me what's new in the market and what's helping me and what's going to make me a better broker and what's going to make my job easier. Talking to politicians, it's great, but that doesn't help me.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Actually, I just got a chance to interview Ann Rinke. She's the new CEO at TIA. That podcast, the Bathrooms and Bunkers podcast, is going to come out in April for that interview. So it'll be good to hear her point of view. But I think you're right. They've been transitioning from Bob Voltman and kind of the old regime to Ann, who I think you'll be impressed with. She's incredible. And so hopefully they're moving the right path. But I agree with you. They definitely need to freshen things up. And I think they're working on that. So that'll be exciting to see. But how about just, surprised that they went virtual instead of actually trying to have something in person? Because my take would be that with a new CEO and a new regime, one of the best things they could have done was to have the event. But I was surprised when they did that. So somebody else tell me why you weren't surprised about that.
Liability all day.
Yeah.
There's no anti-litigation legislation in anything that's been passed so far in any of these rescue bills. And so as soon as someone contracts COVID at a conference and there's not any anti-litigation, somebody's getting sued and somebody's losing money. The last thing you want to be is a new CEO of the TIA and they get sued and they go down.
It's a good point. Maybe that's what it was about. That would be probably a prudent thing to do. I didn't really thought about that, but I was a little surprised by that, because I thought that would actually give them a little more momentum. But I totally get what you're saying on that. All right, question 2. Freightwaves is looking to have 12,000 attendees in Chattanooga this fall. Will you be attending? Before we go to that, Nathan, tell me about this. 12,000 people in Chattanooga. What's your gut on that? Do you think they're going to get that? We've talked about this a couple times before. Do you think they're going to get it?
There's 2,500 hotel rooms in downtown Chattanooga, not 12,000.
So am I staying at your house?
Anybody on this call is welcome to stay at my house, especially Erin, because she gets like $30,000 in those damn stimulus checks. So she can.
So you're saying I should scout my hotel room then?
No, I mean, seriously, I've got plenty of room if y'all want to stay. I'm interested to see what they have as products, what they have, because are you just going to push sonar the whole time, or what are we actually selling? I don't, there's a lot of things Freightwaves does really well. I'm interested to see, and I'm going to use it more, like I'm repping Brent right now with his hat, and he's coming. So, I'm going to have lunch with Brent or dinner with Brent one day, and anybody that comes, holler at me. We'll have lunch or dinner. Yeah, I'll probably go to it. But I don't know. It's just not.
That's the mystique of Freightwaves. You're not even sure what they're going to sell, but you're going to go, because see, what they're selling is the network. They're not. I mean, sonar is their product, but they're selling the network. They're selling the event. They're selling you don't want to miss this, and they do that better than probably anybody right now, because you're literally saying, I don't even know what they sell, but I'm probably going to go. That's.
Yeah, they're sponsoring my golf tournament. I got a big golf tournament coming up. So
when is this? I haven't heard about this. What?
You're on the save the date list. Calm down. You'll get an email.
Sure. I haven't heard anything, so just making sure.
But it's I love their product. I feel like a lot of their rates are based off factors, because if you look at all their sponsors for all their events, they're factoring companies, and there's no other way to get rates other than sit there in front of dad or someone else all day, or get rates that have been ran from factors. And I feel like a factor rate is not always a true rate. And if you go by a factor rate, you're going to get screwed.
Yeah.
Because a factor rate is a proven point is a factor rate is a rate for a carrier that, maybe doesn't have all their stuff together, and they'll take a load for less just to get it.
Right. No, you're right. I think the data sources are so important. When I was at DAT, we had that issue. Truck Stop has a factoring company. A lot of their information came from factors. So the sources haven't changed so much. What I think has changed is the packaging and the marketing. You know,
Right. One thing before you just said it really quick, and I won't hog the whole time. I'm sorry. But seriously, if anybody wants to stay or have lunch or anything, I've got plenty of rooms, plenty of bathrooms. Feel free to stay. But also, my other thing I want to say,
got on record.
Not this next coming up on one of these talks, you mentioned Truck Stop. I want you to do some, I'll forward you emails because the 3 emails came out within 3 minutes of each other. Assure Assist owns my carrier packets, right? Truck Stop is involved with Assure Assist, right? That's where they get their information from, right? Truck Stop just bought RMIS.
Yes, they did.
So it's a big cluster, and I want to know what's going to happen. You're an insider, Trey. You know the backs of a lot of stuff, and I'd love to talk about it and see what's going to happen and what people's feelings are, because I'm a my carrier packets person. RMIS is nice, but that damn Toyota drives just as good as the Lexus, and you still don't get in the same place. So,
and I'm the guys at my carrier package would be glad to hear that. I know those guys pretty well.
I love it. So, I'd love to talk about that sometime.
Here's my quick hit on that is I think that they're basically building a portfolio to have everything in one spot from start to finish as best they can. In fact, I would not be surprised if their next acquisition was a tracking solution, because their tracking solution is not good. So I think that would be an interesting acquisition for them. But I think they're trying to go start to finish, have everything in one place, like a lot of the new TMS platforms are trying to do. And Robert, I'd be interested in your take on that. We'll have to dig into this and come up with a segment on it.
And I have no problem telling you about it.
And I'll also say while I'm here, if you want to, if anybody comes to the event and has a hotel to stay, but I don't work well in hotels. Trey's been to my office. I've got a huge office. So if anybody wants a table or a Wi-Fi connection or needs to print something or something, feel free to holler at me. I'm over by the airport.
Nathan Frazier, All-American man. We appreciate it, man. Thank you for the offer. And he does have plenty of space in his office. I can attest to that. All right. So back to the issue on Chattanooga. 4 of you think that without a doubt, they're going to get 12. Like no doubt. Wow. That's impressive. 1 of you says, yes, I hope so. 3, not sure. 2, probably not. And then of course, Nathan was probably the no chance person on that call. Somebody tell me why you think that without a doubt, they're going to get 12,000 people to come to Chattanooga.
First back to market. Better said.
Well, maybe. I mean, McLeod's coming in before them. I think McLeod is like August. I believe it just came out today that they opened their registration page. They're either August or September, which would be ahead of that.
But is McLeod the users conference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think with Freightways, it's a little more universal, and it is going to be the first big universal event for the industry.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it is the other universal event. I mean, TIA is really for brokers. It's kind of open, but it's really for brokers. This is the only one that is literally universal. I mean, I don't know of any other events, maybe CSCMP.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was really thinking of was something like CSCMP or
food shippers, something like that.
But then Chattanooga is just a fun place to go, and people are so desperate to travel. It's like fun place to go, good food, good booze. The conference itself,
yes,
people, Southern accents. Let's freaking go.
I think
yes.
I think people are going because they need to get out. Go ahead.
There are about 11,000 hotel rooms like in the general area around Chattanooga. So there's 2,500 in downtown Chattanooga, but there's 1,100 or 11,000 in the surrounding area.
That's what I count on. Yeah.
Birmingham, that is driving distance. Where I'm only 2 hours away. You got Atlanta, that's driving distance. Knoxville, Nashville, driving distance. So I don't know if they'll have that many that stay the night both times, but I think that they'll have that many people there for the event.
It's gonna be like our own logistics Woodstock, they're gonna have people out in the fields, there's gonna be flags up.
I mean, I may not go to the actual event. I'm just going to Chattanooga.
Yeah,
Chattanooga is fantastic.
Be there.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I mean,
let's get some moonshot, boys.
The after hours get-togethers are going to be where the gold is anyway. I mean, you're going to be shaking hands, meeting people. I mean, that's actually the value in it. And as a marketer for our company, I thought, yeah, we have to. I mean, we have to send at least one person there just to shake hands, say hi, get the name out there, show that we're a company, that we're part of this. Like if you're not there, you just it's kind of like you don't even exist, I guess. Like you can really show up and you're like, oh no, we are real. We're not just a website. We're not just, people. We are actually a company.
Totally FOMO. You're absolutely right on that.
It's changing it from a virtual phase to like an actual physical one, isn't it? Because like we've had a chat today in our board meeting about this, and I will. It's live on YouTube, right? Oh. Yep. There's a reason why potentially I can't go, and leaving it at that. So like that like, but definitely someone of the team will be heading down, and it's just going from everyone we met so far the last year in virtual events and whatsoever, and just like this, I've never met anyone in person, and it's so important especially for like, you know, a company like us, to make sure that you're finally there, like you are real, like Erica said, like make sure that you are real.
It's a chance to solidify the relationships that we've made over the last year. Yep. Because like for me, it's been almost exactly a year. Today is exactly a year since we opened Valor, and I've met only the people that are here in Dallas Fort Worth, and even that, it hasn't been very many. But as soon as I met them, it went from like we know each other online to we're doing business. Like the trust was already there, but it wasn't like it just took that initial like fist bump, face to face. Hey, how's it going? This real smile. You see each other eye to eye, and then it's like, let's do business. And every single person that I've went out to eat with here in Dallas Fort Worth has turned into a business deal for our company. And so
I feel like our company could do, you know, we have 380 asset trucks that we own as well. And I feel like we could do business with Nick. I always have. And I think that he would be a great asset with us because we go through a lot of fuel and we put out a lot of exhaust. We do a lot of business. We're the #1 logistics provider for Volkswagen in the United States. Their plants here in Chattanooga do not move without us. We have, I think, 200 and something employees on site.
Anybody drive a Mercedes?
No.
Have you heard what Mercedes came out with?
But it's like I feel I've shown our owner, Trey, you've talked with him, Byron, and he loves Nick's product. He's like, I just want to meet the guy. I want to know. It's hard for me to say, yeah, I'm going to do it to some guy overseas. I want to see the guy. I want to see what he does. So yeah, you're right. It does. And you know, Justin is right. There are a lot of hotels in Chattanooga. Just if you want to stay somewhere and it's not like high end name or something, email me and let me know, and I'll let you know if you should, because there's Chattanooga, there's a crime issue here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. So just let me know, and there's good sides of the city and bad sides.
I mean, I don't care. I'm already reserving your house. I'm not going anywhere else.
That's fine.
I'm calling that right now.
Okay. I'm at the Chattanooga Hotel.
You'll be fine.
Okay, cool.
You'll be fine. They have a really, really good whiskey bar.
Nice. All right. So question 3, when would you be willing to attend an in-person event? 3 of you said last month. I'd be with you on that. 5 of you say now. So basically 8 of us are ready to go. And a few others are a little further out, 2 of you in 2022. I think the majority of people, I would probably put it at maybe 70 to 80% overall, are ready to get out, especially executives. I think they want to get out. So we'll see what happens. And Juan, I think you're right. I think that Freightwaves does a good job of FOMO, but they also are doing a good job of just knowing what people are wanting to do. And right now people want to get together. Mm-hmm. So
I think Freightwaves in general, they've been very good at the fear of missing out concept, and from their conception. And I think that's one of the reasons they became so big and so fast. I'm actually really looking forward for Chattanooga. Like I really just want to get on a plane.
My main thing with this conference is I want them to reach out. You can do a huge conference, right? But I want them to reach out and say, Nathan, or anybody that has a brokerage, or anybody that does this, here's why you should be here. Here's what we're doing for you. Because me going to learn about, I don't care about freight in space. I don't give a shit about that. Okay, I don't.
I do.
I'm fat. I'm not an astronaut. I won't fit in a shuttle. It's just not going to happen. Okay, but if I want to know exactly what you're going to do that I can get a benefit out of, don't just tell me to come. I want to know why.
But if they don't, LTL. You're still going to go.
Why would I go?
That's the thing.
I'm here. I'm gonna go anyway.
Yeah. They've done a great job of packaging and marketing it, without a doubt. What's up, Robert?
Whiskey. That's where I'm going.
And whiskey. It's the little things, that matter
I'm
the
a
most.
simple guy, man.
And then lastly, go ahead.
We can do a whiskey tour too. I know some people.
Oh my
Well, if this is going to be like the Woodstock of transportation, you know, somebody needs to be bring the fucking drugs, okay? 'Cause bring the weed.
This is why Diana's on the call, everybody, right here. Diana, you're in charge, Diana. You got that. That's all you. Keep us posted.
Something's wrong with my feed. I gotta go.
All right, last question on this poll is, would you be more inclined to attend a national or regional event? Most of you don't care. 3 of you regional, because there's fewer people from all across the country. That makes sense. And then 1 more on a national side. So again, I think this is going to be big. If I had to put a number on it today, I would say around 8,000. That'd be my guess. I think they're going to get about 8,000, somewhere in that range. Because I think a lot of people are going to come, but there's going to be still a decent number. They're going to say, not quite yet, but they're going to get a lot. They're going to get more than probably we've ever seen at a transportation. What is the largest transportation event that any of you have been to? I mean, 3,000? Yeah, which is 2,500, I believe, right? 2,000, 2,500? Yeah. Right. So, I mean, even that's, significantly less than what they're talking about now. So
they may be blowing up the numbers too, because I mean, they may be 12,000 people in Chattanooga at that moment, not necessarily all of them at F3.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, everybody, we're going to transition real quick. We're going to do one more poll today. We only got 10 minutes left, and this one has to do with culture and some fascinating things around culture, around COVID, around social justice, and a couple other things. And so I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll, and you guys go ahead and take that. We're going to listen to, let's see. We don't want that. What do we want to listen to here? No. How about this? I'm a big Whitney fan.
Nope.
We got a little Whitney Houston here for everybody. I'm going with the, by the way, I'm going with the stand now. I've got a standing desk, so now I can move around a little bit. So you may be seeing a little bit more dancing from me on the show moving forward. So
that's awesome. Hey, I gotta go. I gotta take off. I'm gonna drive.
Diane, I'm starting to dance. Come on, don't leave.
I'm sorry. I gotta go.
That's why she's leaving, Trey.
Go get the drugs.
That was it. I gotta go. I can't watch this anymore. Bye, Diana. I'm good to see you.
My eyes burn. I'm just kidding. All right.
You gotta make that pot dealer at 1.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta deal with it.
I can take the
Oh, Trey, that last question.
All right. Bye, everybody. Toodles.
Bye, Diana.
Bye.
Trey, that last question, man.
Are you? Yeah, you know.
Jack
now.
off.
You know. Oh my goodness. All right, finish it up.
Oh.
This one's kind of a hodgepodge of questions today. I just kind of felt like throwing a bunch of them in there together. So, we'll see how it goes. All right, we're going to close it out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go ahead and chat about this. First of all, are you excited? The Masters tournament is only 14 days away. I cannot believe that 5 of you did not put yes. 2 of you put what's the Masters? Aaron, did you put that?
I bet Aaron was one of them.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Somebody put masters.com in the chat box so Aaron can get educated on this. This is the greatest event in sports, maybe only second to the Indy 500, maybe. And I might even
Is this when they get the green jacket?
Like FIFA World Cup. Yes. The green jacket. Yes. Okay. I'm proud. We're moving in the right direction here. Yeah. So
I went to when Happy Gilmore came out in the theaters. We went to see it. And afterwards I said, what's the importance of the green jacket? I don't understand.
The gold jacket in that movie, but yes. That was the 20-year anniversary, by the way. 20-year anniversary of Happy Gilmore this year. So that's big. So we've got FIFA World Cup. I think that's up there. We got the Indy 500, which is the greatest spectacle in racing and sports. And then, of course, the Masters. These are the pinnacle of sports, and it's 14 days away. And not only that, but it's the second Masters in 5 months. I mean, just what a treat, because we had the last one in November because of COVID. So very excited about that. 3 of you said no. I need you to identify yourself, and I need you to leave the room. Okay, Robert,
I'm a golfer.
Read between the lines, Trey.
Read between the lines.
I golf. I play all kinds of sports, and I love sports. But something over this last year, I've refocused all my energy into other things, and it's hard to draw back to spend 4 days watching golf. Like I can no longer see myself spit like March Madness. I would normally everything. I mean, like I've been retired for the last 8 years, so 9 years.
Don't remind us.
And so like, I mean, I literally could just sit there and just like all day long watch. I mean, I kept track of every sport, everything, and then I came back to work and I realized like, wow, like I can get so much out of my own life than I can watching other people's. And so while I still enjoy it, I still catch SportsCenter every morning or every evening.
I agree with you on that, Eric. Like I don't watch nearly as many sports as I have in the past, but when it comes to the Masters, I mean, okay, I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to this. I used to record it and rewatch it throughout the year. Believe it or not,
I'll watch Sunday for sure.
This was before TiVo or DVRs, people. This is cassette tapes, VHS tapes of the '95 Masters. Watching that over, my mom is like, "What is wrong with my son? What is he doing?" I kept watching. I'm trying to imitate him, and I was addicted, but.
Watching film.
You hear the little piano jingle at the beginning, the tradition like any other. Jim Nantz, hi friends. That. I mean, when you hear those kind of things, it's like any other. I can't wait. 14 days is coming up. And fortunately, nobody here put bad question, Trey, because that might have been the end of you being on the street crew. That could have been a deal breaker. So thank you for nobody going that route. Okay, question 2. So far, very interesting cultural phenomenon going on here. So far, prominent Black athletes have not been promoting vaccination, which is very fascinating. A lot of them were promoting masks and social distancing and all those kind of things, but they haven't endorsed vaccination yet, which is an interesting kind of dichotomy here.
Haven't even been photographed getting their own vaccine.
Of being on the grid, of trusting government. There's a huge mistrust of government among the Black community. And so the idea that the government's promoting this, it's really fascinating because they've gone all the way up to this point, but they haven't gone. Maybe it's just because they're busy. I don't know. Maybe he's playing basketball. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't have time, right? I mean, I know he's
Is there basketball going on right now?
He's rehabbing. There's some basketball going on right now. So maybe
nobody's watching it. Maybe that's why they're not doing it.
I mean, not like right this second. There's not.
We actually have March Madness, and other things.
Well, yeah, but not the professional.
I haven't even been able to watch football. The NFL, they changed their Sunday pass, and Colombia is no longer one of those countries that you can see it on the app. That's what I used to do. I would stream it from my iPhone to my TV, and they just no, this year you can see the commentaries and the little clips of the important things, but you can't actually see the game.
That sucks. Sorry to hear that.
I don't think they're going to make a big deal out of the vaccines for a while because remember back when COVID was first kind of making its ways and before the NBA shut down, people were getting really upset that they were using the few tests that were available on NBA players. None of them are in the groups that are eligible for the vaccines yet. So it would probably be even worse to look at that where these guys who are multimillionaires, we assume they have tons of privilege anyway, are jumping over all these other folks that are eligible for the vaccine currently just because they happen to be in the spotlight. So I don't think they're going to make a big deal until it's more widely, we're in those phases where more folks can get it.
They don't have it's like voting. They don't have there's without saying it that way, there's a lot of inner city people that don't vote because they don't have transportation to get to a polling place. Just like a lot of people that are NBA fans are inner city people and may not have the transportation or the ability to get to a place, or they're scared of the vaccine, number one. I don't think it's like the Cuomo thing in New York that just came out about, him backdooring his brother to get it really quick, which he wasn't near qualifying for it. Yeah, I think that's a problem. I think that once everybody's vaccinated, they'll be okay with it.
Yeah, but it's just interesting that has been kind of a stopping point. Maybe it'll change next week. But
what's that beep?
Okay. Do what?
What is that beep?
It's not me.
Somebody's getting pinged on LinkedIn.
Yeah, somebody's phone.
Message. I don't know. Time to be quiet.
Every time I talk, that damn beep goes off. And is you trying to shut me up, Trey?
That's enough.
Yeah.
I think that was me. I'm sorry. That was Chris Jolly.
That's Chris Jolly. Where?
Yeah.
Where is he?
He's busy. I'm just asking him a few questions.
All right. Okay. Moving on. Question 3. Is it justified for the population in general to have concerns about the COVID-19 vaccine? Everybody says yes on this call. Yeah. I think there's more people that are opposed to it than they think. And again, I'm really curious about how they're going to navigate that in terms of mandating it or requiring it. Okay, we'll move on one. All right, I got it. I hear what you're going. I hear what's going on. All right, number 4. Would the vaccination effort go smoother if it were administered in the Chick-fil-A drive-through line? 7 of you say 100% absolutely, but I would be a little weird about getting my, my chicken sandwich and my shake.
I'll take a number 1 and a vaccine.
That's right. I'm going number 2 and a Moderna, please.
My
Take
pleasure.
My pleasure. Yes.
I have a story. I have a story like that. My father-in-law, who's bright enough, but he's not from this country. His brother pulled a trick on him.
Hold on. When you say bright enough, is that the Scottish way of saying dumb? What does bright enough mean?
Well, when someone is gullible. Do you use the word gullible?
We do.
That would be me.
So he said, if
Aaron's going to Chick-fil-A this afternoon to get a vaccine.
He said, if you go to the supermarket and you get a organic cucumber, it needs to be organic, an organic cucumber, get that scanned, you get a free flu jab. So he goes to the supermarket, gets his stuff, and then hands over this organic cucumber. And then he asked the cashier, he's like, where do I get my jab? She's like, what do you mean? It's a cucumber. It's for, you cut it up, it's for salad. He's like, no. Flu jab. I'm here for the flu jab. I've got the cucumber. So yeah,
Wow.
So smart enough is gullible. I need to keep that in mind. If I'm ever over in Scotland and he goes, this is Trey, he's smart enough, I'm gonna know what you mean. I'm gonna know where you're going with that. All right, guys. Hey, listen, the time is up. Thanks for joining today. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Next week, we celebrate 1 year that Word on the Street has been on the air. So make sure you come back. We'll have a great time.
Wow.
Yeah. Episode
Crazy.
52, man, next week. We're very excited.
Most importantly, happy birthday, Trey.
Yes, happy birthday, Trey.
Happy birthday, Trey.
Happy birthday, Trey.
Next Friday is Good Friday too, right?
Yes, it is. It is Good Friday, and it will be a Good Friday.
Happy weekend.
Next Friday.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Everybody have a wonderful weekend out there.
All right.
See ya.
Have a great one.